After a small break, we are back playing STARFORGED, and I am with the one and only Zach the Drac. How you doing, Zach?
Hello, how are you, Sergio?
Zach is back playing STARFORGED with me. Zach, you were only gone for a single session. Your last session marked the end of our second round of playing through everybody in Mayday. Allegra went on. She rolled you. They rolled you, and now you are here. Is there a little bit of whiplash? How do you feel?
Oh yeah, I feel like I should remember more of what has happened, and it feels exactly the same in that I've forgotten all of the bad choices I made. So
You actually
excited.
your last session you rolled incredibly well, so you set leg up really well. Their session went pretty well. We'll see how you do
You're
this time.
welcome.
We'll see if that
Yeah.
luck sticks with you. Lex, good to see you in the chat. Eli, good to see you in the chat.
Oh
If you
yay.
are new to us, please make sure to say hi to us in the chat. Let me go over kind of what we did last time for your benefit, Zakiya, but for the audiences. So, if we all remember, there is a group of Ironlanders, like Iron Age people, that have found a spaceship and have been traveling through space trying to find a new home. They've discovered that they were on this experiment planet where they were being experimented on by the jungle to create this, like, hardy race of men that could survive colony travel or colonizing new planets, etc. And they want their freedom. They want out. So they've been traveling, and they recently bumped into a sentient species, I think created by Zakiya, called the Sacro Shamu.
Yes.
And the Sacro Shamu don't like the jungle. This, kind of bureaucracy that runs the Forge, our little corner of the galaxy. And we made a deal with them. If we can kind of turn over all of the remaining jungle ships in this sector, they would help us find a new home. So we did exactly that. We found a courier ship that was burying the dead. We tricked them into following us, and the Sacro Shamu took them and had their way with them. I believe they were completely merciless and slaughtered all of them. But not our problem. Certainly not Nader's problem. And the Sacro Shamu, fulfilled their promise of telling us where to find this planet. Now, it is a vital world, which means it's ideal to live in, but it's also kind of ideal for the Ironlanders. Turns out that the three major biomes are glacial, cold forests, and shallow oceans. And if you remember, Zach, the Ironlanders kind of lived in a hardy, tundra-like environment to begin with. So they're kind of used to this, so it's kind of ideal for them.
Okay.
And at this point, the decision is, okay, we've got to go there, but there's one caveat. To get there, we have to go through a vault. Zakiya, you remember we were in a vault once where there were some space vampires. One of them fell in love with you.
That's right.
And
That's
we
right.
escaped that vault. It was this weird hypergeometric, place. Like, it was like almost like a dungeon, created by, ancient aliens or whatever.
Yes.
Point is, this vault is the only way to get to this vital world. This is what the Sacro Shamu told us. So Nader tried to proselytize a little bit, and he got kicked off the Sacro Shamu planet for being a little bit too zealous. And he finds himself back on the ships. He did resupply a little bit. He did kind of renew his spirit a little bit. It's a little low. But the point is that we come to a crossroads here. Nader, we can decide what ship he's on, but the decision needs to be made about what the next step is. And before we do that, I think I want to define with you a little bit more about this vault and about this planet. So think about the implications, Zach. The Sacro Shamu told us that there is a world that they know of that is a really nice world that we can settle on, that is behind a vault, which is like a, we've kind of defined it as this weird alien interdimensional type of place. What are the implications here? What do we need to understand in terms of the world building of what Why don't the Sacro Shamu go there themselves if it's so great or whatever?
Right. I
Obviously, it's
I
hard to.
feel like
Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, yeah, there's something going on with this vault. Like when you said alien dungeon puzzle, it just feels like it feels like a like MC Escher planet,
Mm.
but there's something that would make them not go. I imagine like a ridiculous lack of just like maybe it's like super dry. I don't know. I think I might be jumping the gun a little bit, but I think there's like 2 to 3 qualities about this place that would make it impossible to enter if you were one of these or
I
can't
mean,
say orcish people, but yeah.
maybe the vault is just a dangerous place. I mean, like we said, it's kind of like a dungeon. We don't know what we're going to find in there. Maybe the Sacro Shamu explained that they've never been through it. They know very few alien races that have. But why do the Sacro Shamu know about it? Did the predecessors, these alien races, did they leave behind information about it? Because I imagine like a pocket dimension where there's a planet just existing in the
Yeah.
vault. Like I almost imagine the vault is like this particular vault as like a test kitchen where they like the predecessors built like a planet that is habitable but also isn't like it's not like playing in the universe right now. It's just like in the background or
I like that. I think
in the
okay,
wings.
so they beta tested a planet.
Yeah,
It's didn't work out for them.
right.
It wasn't what they liked. It happens to be perfect for the Ironlanders,
Right.
but they thought it was super lame. So it's like this planet is like the kids' table of their civilization. And that's where they're like, it's there if you need it, but like, are you sure?
So maybe the predecessors. I keep saying that, but it's not as cool as like the progenitors or something. You know, if the
Yes.
progenitor race like created this planet, it sounds like they also told other or left clues to other races that this planet exists as like a backup planet or as a hideout or
Yeah.
something.
I think they did the beta test planet, moved on to wherever they are at now, and at least spread the information to say like this is what you do when you want to make a planet. Like it's used as educational.
Ah,
Like yeah,
I see.
it's a
Yeah,
safety town.
it's safety town. And do our Ironlanders want to live in the safety town of the universe? I mean,
I
I
would
suppose.
love to think that they don't tell them that,
Okay,
or they they still think that it is so cool that it doesn't matter that this is a safety town.
so this is a player knowledge kind of thing as opposed to the Ironlanders really putting two and two together.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to kind of better understand it going forward so when the other players when we eventually get to this vault and find this planet, we understand what we're coming upon. It's like, it's going to be weird living on a planet that's like in another dimension. I think it's going to be interesting nonetheless. It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, now that we've defined that, I need to know from you, do we continue towards this vault, or is it time to maybe retrieve all those Ironlanders we left behind on the original planet? Is it time for our mass exodus?
I think it would be smarter if I'm playing this game like it's a farming sim.
Yeah.
It would be smarter to go back and get people in case we lose people,
Mm,
then we don't lose everybody. But
yeah.
I also just want to see what this vault is like. So what
Okay.
would be the option if we decided to go forward? We would still have to go back and go through the vault again, right?
If we decided to head to the vault first, we would undertake an expedition, which we would set the difficulty, and it will take a certain amount of time to get there, coming across perils and things like that. If we decided instead to return home, we would just be. There's a specific move for this that is a lot easier. Setting a course. When you follow a known route through perilous space, you roll plus supply. So our supply is 3 right now, not as good as it can be. We could take some time trying to increase it. But setting a course would be one move as opposed to possibly multiple undertaking expedition moves to get to the vault.
Okay. Then I think yeah, we should let's go back home and get everybody.
Okay. We have decided to shift gears. I realize now that it's like basically Space Moses returning the space Israelites back home.
Oh yes.
Nader is Space Moses. He is quite religious. I think that it works quite well.
Space Moses.
We have to find our clay tablets and all of those analogous biblical allegories.
DreamWorks Next project. Space Moses.
This is just Battlestar Galactica's last season, basically. By way of the Great Whale, says Eli. That's right. That's right. Okay, we're going home. We're returning to the planet. We are going to roll supply. Like I said, supply's at 3. Are you comfortable with that, or do you want to first give me a reason why we don't try to resupply first? We rolled it twice last session, and with varying degrees of success.
I think we would. I think we would definitely resupply. I
Okay.
don't know how that would, where we're going, but we should try.
So here's what happened. Last session, we went down to resupply, and Nader spent all of his time proselytizing and got kicked off the planet. He wanted to resupply again, so what he did is he just went to the other continent, like the other side of the planet, and just tried to resupply and succeeded.
Okay.
So you need to give me the next step of resupplying. I think that just flying to another part of the planet is not a good reason or a not good enough excuse to resupply. So what is the other possibility?
I mean, if we have, well, true. Okay. We can't just pull over a little bit further. What are the odds? We could either, again, leaning into the farming sim, just try to make more supplies.
Mm-hmm.
We could really destroy our relationship with these people and just steal them.
Yeah. That is your strongest skill, plus Shadow. You could attempt to steal from them.
Okay, one last job. That's it.
Okay, so you're saying Nader gets word of one last job, like some kind of heist, and he gets a bunch of the Ironlanders to help him do it. Now, what kind of a heist is it?
This is fair. Okay.
Because there's many kinds of heists.
Is he smart? Is he a smart boy? He's
Great
not that
question.
smart.
Great
He's
question.
just quick.
He is wits. I mean, he's got wits. He's got 2 wits. Not his strongest. Shadow is definitely his strongest. You could say he's a genius at lying and swindling.
Yeah. Okay. Then I think it's something as simple as they know that this lad's about to leave, so he does sort of a Trojan horse, like ooh, perfect. You know when you give somebody a gift that you know they hate, that they will give back to you that you want?
Okay.
Great. That's what he's doing.
But what is that? What does it look like?
It looks like
We're going to give you our sewage.
Well, no, Serge. Okay.
How are you going to spin this? Let me hear it.
The sewage tube that they store them in.
Okay.
Take one of those. It's empty. It's clean-ish. It's
Okay.
ready to go. We take it.
Uh-huh.
We fill it with something meaningless like dirt, but something that we think is very special, or that we say is very special. Nadir's like, this is the coolest dirt from my homeland. It looks just like your dirt. Don't worry about it. This is our gift to you.
Okay. Got it. We try to pawn some useless resource that we can eat, some meteorite dust or something, try to pawn it off as something special, and steal from some other group. Okay.
Yeah, we just want them to take it back for us to... Oh yes, we put people in there. Sorry. Take it back. The people come out, steal the things, they give the thing back, and we have supplies.
Oh, I see. Gotcha. Okay. So we're going to roll plus Shadow to gather supplies. And let's see how we do. Adventuring, we are... What are we? Yeah, we're resupplying. Let's see.
Do I add anything to that?
Oh, yeah, good question.
Delete that roll.
make sure to look at your assets, because that usually tells you when this is called resupply. I don't think there is anything in your assets.
Mm-hmm.
But when you steal or swindle, you can roll plus shadow. I think you're just going to just roll shadow.
Okay, cool. Let's see.
Hey!
Okay.
All right. This scam works. On a strong hit, you can take +2 to your supply, which I believe will raise it up to 5.
Yes.
That's excellent. So the scam works. The one last job is worth it. I'm not even going to ask you to roll if anybody dies in the process. Nope, it's a flawless plan. Clean, exactly. We've got our supply. Is it time to set the course for home?
Yes.
All right.
Go home.
All that's left for you to do now is to roll supply. And see if we can't take her home. With a +5, you better get a strong hit. That's great. So we are threshold combat. Here we go. Setting a course. On a strong hit, you reach your destination and the situation there favors you. Take +1 momentum. So that momentum goes up to 2, and we arrive out of hyperspace. I mean, we've been basically going back the way that we came through all the previous sectors and stuff. What does it look like when we return? What is to our advantage? And we can roll for it if you like.
Yeah, I do. The only thing I could think of is just like, people are not mad to see us back.
I mean, certainly that would be nice, but I think that's also kind of expected. We are returning to save everybody. Maybe, looking at the different Oracle tables here, let's find the focus of this thing. Roll a d100, and we'll determine the focus of this opportunity that we find. Whatever that means.
68.
68, one off from 69. A rendezvous. We find that the focus is a rendezvous of some kind. I suppose it's obvious we're rendezvousing with the previous Ironlanders.
Yeah.
If we recall, we exist on a planet with a giant superstorm that really the only habitable place was the Eye. What if the Eye is in a position where it helps us rendezvous easily? It's maybe somewhere that's not in the mountains or not in the ocean or something like that.
Yeah, we're on the only plateau in the area. Easy to land a ship.
Nice, even land or place to land a ship. Absolutely. Okay. That's where we find ourselves. I'm not even going to bother with that. I'm just going to do... Never mind. All right. We're here. We see our beautiful planet. I assume we begin to descend.
Yes.
We have 2 ships. Yeah. We have the fighter ship, and we have the chum bucket, our ship that is currently housing most everyone. Which one is going down? Currently, I think the chum bucket is full of people. So it would be the Excalibur, or do we change everybody from the chum bucket into the Excalibur, and then it's the chum that goes down?
Yeah. Especially because the chum bucket is smaller, right?
I don't know if it's smaller. I think that it does actually hold more people than the Excalibur can.
Oh.
It's more of a freighter than the Excalibur, which is like a warship. It's a little bit tighter of quarters. If you think of like a submarine or something.
Send the chum bucket down. It'll be a whole vibe. Everyone will be so excited.
Right.
In that ship.
Yeah.
That'll be good.
Okay. Do we move anybody to the Excalibur ship? Do we move as many people as we... No. Everyone stays on.
Just the homies. If you've been in the ship, you stay in the ship.
Okay. There's about 35 of us, we'll say. We've had a lot of casualties along the way. I suppose that's fine. It's going to be a really tight fit because there's at least 50 people down below waiting for us, possibly more after all this travel time. I just want to set some kind of challenge if we do want to overstuff the chum bucket. Because we had decided there was room for 50 people on it originally. I think it could fly. It could definitely handle the weight. I suppose it doesn't really matter. I suppose that there's no real issue.
There's like a social thing. Like, if you put 85 people on a 50-seat bus, someone's gonna fight.
Right.
It's a matter of time.
Right.
But if there's no consequence on that end, then maybe.
That's something to just think about. Something to think about. We haven't rolled poorly yet, so there's no need to complicate things. The chum bucket goes down into the atmosphere. I think we should make a roll to try to land the ship without any issues. Perhaps facing danger is the easiest. Let's see. Where are our moves? 224. Alright, so we are going to face danger. You are going to... with what skill are you going to use? If you're moving agilely to basically descend into the atmosphere and to land properly.
Wits?
Wits probably makes the most sense.
Okay.
You can't really deceive or trick your way out of this.
Yeah.
Your next highest is edge, but you'd be moving with speed, mobility, or agility, which I guess kind of works if you're piloting the ship. But if you want, roll with wits.
Yeah, just because it's particularly good, so I think it's just him.
Double check your assets, because I think there is, when you face danger,
That'd be great.
something. Nope. Secure an advantage and gain ground. Hearten. Strike. Yeah, unfortunately, there's not anything about... I always think there is, but there's not.
Okay, then
Gonna
that's
roll
a
wits.
big old miss.
That's a big old miss. I didn't even see that the whole time. On a miss, you fail or a momentary success is undermined by a dire turn of events. Pay the price. Please roll a d100.
Just landing the plane in perfect conditions.
You're just gonna get sucked into the storm.
Already 8.
An 8. You create an opportunity for an enemy. You create an opportunity for an enemy. Now, we have enemies in space. I don't know if you can recall any of the enemies in the Ironlands. The Storm would certainly be considered an enemy.
Right.
There were all kinds of, zombie-like creatures that wouldn't make much sense. I don't think we necessarily crash. We might have to make a roll to determine whether we take any damage or crash. But how do we create an opportunity for an enemy, Zach?
Okay. I feel like there's something a little trippy about leaving one ship just like up in the air.
Mm-hmm.
That like if the storm were to move even a little bit, like maybe it would inflict damage on that ship because it's just kind of floating and the storm is, moving around it or underneath it. Otherwise, yeah, I mean, like the likelihood of landing and like nicking the ship against the storm seems pretty high.
I think that makes the most sense. Let's roll to see if the ship takes any damage while attempting to land, potentially getting caught in the storm or, like you said, getting hit by it. So what we're going to do is the ship is going to withstand damage on the integrity of the ship, which is, if we're taking the chum bucket, it's actually at 5. I made a note that the attack vessel's at 3 in terms of integrity. But we're going to reduce the integrity by 1 to 4. And I'm going to ask that you roll basically a +4 integrity. I don't think there's any way you can do it in the character sheet. You're going to have to roll maybe with Shadow and modify it by adding +1, which would make it +4.
Okay.
Using the Getting around the
Okay.
character sheet. Okay, weak hit. We are withstanding damage. Let's see. Here we go. On a weak hit, your vehicle is not battered. You may lose momentum in exchange for that integrity that we lost. What would you like to do? Current integrity's at 4. We could
Yeah.
lose momentum to bring it back up to 5.
I think I kind of just want to take it and keep going.
Okay.
I
All
want
right.
to keep the momentum just in case.
I see where your logic is. So we've withstood the damage, but we make it to the ground. Maybe not the most graceful landing, but, Nader is not famous for being a pilot anyway. We make it to the ground. We can obviously... I mean, do we see the Iron Landers? Do we see, like, the settlement? Might be a oracle. We do see them.
Yeah, I'd like to think if there was a way to sort of send a message ahead of time, like, get packed, everyone is as ready as they can be to go.
Okay, got it. We land within eye shot. We see them. Do they immediately start coming over to us? Like, they probably have some kind of plan.
Yes.
Right.
I want it to look like when Thor comes with the ship of people.
Yeah.
I want it to look like that. Like, there's just running. People are exiting the ship. People are boarding the ship. There's just this mess, like 30 feet out in front, and then everyone gets back in the ship.
All right. There's something that's a little too easy about this to me. I mean, these folks have been for weeks, possibly months, alone in the storm. Some drama has occurred. You know what I mean? Something is going on. I don't want to just say something bad is happening, but I think we should possibly gather information to see what the latest is, and maybe the positive or the negative of that roll will determine, what's happening.
That's fair. I like the reunion scene, but the idea, if they've been in space, they're gonna just check them out to make sure they're not also zombie people or something.
Gotcha.
So,
we're gonna gather information.
Okay.
Let me pull up what we got to do. Forge a bond. Gather is 227. Okay. All right. You're gonna roll wits. When you search for clues, ask questions, analyze evidence, or do research. We're checking in with the people. Oh, boy.
Okay.
A miss. Very interesting. On a miss, your investigation unearths a dire threat or reveals an unwelcome truth that undermines your quest. We can either pay the price or we can come up with it ourselves.
I don't want to think of something bad for the people.
All right, roll a d100.
Yeah.
And we'll let fate decide what unfortunate thing has befallen the Ironlanders.
58.
Okay. 58. Your equipment or vehicle malfunctions.
Okay. Okay. I guess that means we have to spend momentum to fix it, or spend time to fix it.
Yeah, it would certainly suck if the ship stops working and the storm is on the move, moving in the direction, maybe on the short end too, like the side we parked closest to is like moving towards us or something like that.
Or like we can only take, because like one of our engines or something is down, we can only take a certain amount of people. And we said everybody could come, but when we said that, we didn't know that this would happen. So, like, I don't know. I don't want to leave people behind because that's the best way to make a bunch of villains. But maybe.
But here's the thing: the pay the price is telling us the ship doesn't work, so we probably have to fix it before we can get the hell out of here. That's the problem, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've gathered all the Ironlanders up. Let's ask the Oracle. Maybe this is what we should have done. I want to ask the Oracle to just better understand the state of the Ironlanders. Is it likely that they are in the same shape that we left them in? I think that it is likely that they have been able to self-sustain well enough.
Yeah.
Okay, roll a d100, 26 or greater. They have, in fact, been able to largely keep themselves healthy and happy and surviving.
Okay. 26 or greater. 34. Okay.
Nice. Okay, everything's peachy keen with the Ironlanders. They are hardy folks. We just got to figure out how to solve this problem with our ship. So here we are. The storm is moving in a way that it's going to hit our ship sooner than later. And our ship isn't working. I assume maybe like the drop in gravity has really shaken the chum bucket, and he's KB is really having a hard time holding themselves together. So, what do we do? I want to set some kind of difficulty here. Maybe it's even maybe a vow. Maybe I think if we can manage to get off if we can manage to get off the planet, I'll consider it progress towards our goal of finding a new home, right?
Okay.
In fact, I'll even say this is progress. The fact that we return to the planet without issue, I'll give us 2 points towards that, and this will make it another one. So, what are we doing? What's the first move to solve this problem? How do we get the ship up and running again?
The first thing I want to do is move the ship away from the storm, move it inward a little bit, just so we have time to work on it or fix it.
Can that be done? I mean, if the ship can't move up, it might not be able to move left and right.
Okay, help me remember. Is there not a part of the tribe that's kind of on wheels? Did we
Definitely,
that?
yeah. I mean, I think without a doubt we could probably lug the iron furnace and stuff like that into the ship if we wanted to.
Okay. What if we just... This is... Okay.
There's no bad idea, Zach.
What if we take
just bad rolls?
Take the wheels of the furnace and push them underneath.
The furnace is not the size of a ship. This is the first time where I'm like, absolutely not.
Okay, that's fair. That's okay.
I mean, maybe if the tribe took all of their moving, caravan stuff and tried to make it work, yes, but at the sacrifice of all of their stuff, which is fine. They're planning to leave the planet anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, you just want to wheel it away. Okay. I think first we have to make some kind of roll to successfully build this contraption, right? We're going to... This is an interesting move here. What are we going to do?
There's no make a big skateboard?
Make a big skateboard is not a move, unfortunately.
Okay.
There is the combat move. No, that's not going to work. We could just undertake an expedition. Undertaking expedition is kind of in the vein.
Yeah. Pushing something half a mile is an expedition.
Let's face danger.
Okay.
Or this is kind of securing an advantage as well.
Yes. That feels better.
We're attempting to gain some leverage while we fix the ship. We're trying to move it. You can roll with Edge, Heart, Iron, Shadow, or Wits.
Heart.
Okay, so you are with Resolve, Command, or Sociability. So Nader is trying to convince everybody this is a good idea.
Yeah, because he's not a strong lad. He's just yelling and pointing.
Yes.
A lot.
Again, I think there is an asset this time. I say this every time, but I think there's an asset that securing an advantage. When you secure an advantage by studying a newfound place, or when you secure an advantage bringing up your god.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it could easily be the will of the whale.
Yep. So just you just call upon the will of the whale to make this happen. Not only do we have the Moses, now we have the Noah reference. We're building a it's just on wheels instead of water.
Unintentional.
All right, you may add +1 to this roll.
Okay. +1. Okay.
Oh, this is very good. A strong hit with a match. This is a critical hit, effectively. So what happens that makes this plan come together?
Okay. I think disassembling it from the iron furnace, super easy.
All right.
It's the tools that they already know how to
Okay.
use. I think our boy is excellent at quickly teaching these people how the ship works enough to lift it and get it on there. And I don't know, I mean, how far did we say the storm, like the diameter of the eye of the storm is?
God,
It's like a mile or so,
it's
right?
a little bit bigger than that, actually.
Okay.
It's big enough that if we can manage to get it a little bit more to the center, it's going to be fine. With a strong hit, I completely think that's what we accomplish.
Okay.
So sure enough, we get out of harm's way. We still have the trouble of getting the ship fully operational. So I think that's going to require some kind of appropriate roll for this. Because you secure the advantage on a strong hit, you can either take +2 momentum or a +1 on your next move. What would you
+1
like?
on the next move.
Yeah, that makes sense. We can attempt to face danger and fix it. You want to try to do that?
Yes.
All right, so actually, because it's more to do with the ship not working, there might be a not withstand damage, but I lost it now. Adventure. Oh, a repair. We could either make a repair move or a face danger roll. What would you prefer? If you do a repair move, you'd have to roll with wits or supply. If you do face danger, you could roll with any stat you want. You just have to justify it.
I feel confident in wits. I think we can do it with wits. And we have a +1. So yes, I think we can.
All right. You will roll. What is it? With wits to repair the ship, +1, and hopefully it gets fixed. All right.
Barely?
Barely. We'll see. On a weak hit, envision the situation roll. If you're making your own repairs, you'll roll with wits. On a hit, which we did a hit, you gain repair points as appropriate to this situation. If you're in the field and it's a weak hit, you gain 1 point. Our ship is at 4, so it actually goes up to +5. So
Okay.
managed to repair it, and we'll say that counts as getting it up and running again. So it's now fully operational. Everybody runs on, and we start going up, right?
Yeah. So just sacrifice everyone's stuff.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we're moving on. We're moving to a
Yeah.
world where we won't need a traveling furnace anymore. Is the descent painless? Do we need to face danger as we ascend?
No, I think leaving is fine.
Okay,
Landing in the vault is the problem.
gotcha. We now have every remaining Ironlander. We have fulfilled the promise of finding a home. I'm going to bring our progress now to 4 total, 4 out of 10, in the goal of trying to find a home. And our task is to get everybody finally to the Ironlander home, the new vital world. So bring the Ironlanders to the vital world. Okay? To do this, we need to undertake an expedition. That's a new vow that we can create. Let's see. I'm going to say this is get to the vault is kind of the first task. And we are going to undertake the expedition. Let's decide how difficult this expedition is. This requires us not necessarily going the exact same direction. We can kind of decide by asking the Oracle. But how difficult is it going to get to just to get to this vault? Probably not that hard.
Yeah, I don't think so.
All right. So we'll say
I think we've
dangerous.
done enough. Yeah.
Okay.
Dangerous is cool.
The more difficult stuff is once we get into the vault.
In the vault, yeah.
With that said, that means every time we succeed, we're going to mark 2 progress, And so we're going to start by undertaking expedition unless you'd like to do something else. You can attempt to sojourn and reconnect with all the Ironlanders, maybe bring your spirit or your health back up. Take that opportunity.
Okay. I think, yeah, I do want to bring the spirit back up. I don't know. It feels dangerous being that low. I'm confident with everything else.
Yeah. If you're going to sojourn, which allows you to make a choice of 2 of the, repair moves, heal, to resupply. If you're going to do that, then you need to... Hold on, I keep losing my place here. You need to roll with heart. And you currently have a +2 in heart. I think... Let's look at your assets, see if you have a sojourn. Sojourn, take decisive action. When you hearten specifically, there is a thing. So you can either hearten specifically, or you can sojourn and have a couple of options.
Okay. So what's the difference? What's the difference between hearten and sojourn?
So imagine sojourn as the major category, and hearten, resupply, and whatever the other one is are like the subcategories within sojourn. If you roll well in sojourn, you can make 2 choices. If you choose hearten, you can only hearten.
I see.
Right? So sojourn allows you to do more than just one thing.
Let's do sojourn then, just in case.
I believe you're going to roll with wits. No, I'm sorry. You're going to roll with heart.
Cool.
And hopefully you will roll well.
Yeah.
A weak hit.
Weak hit.
On a weak hit, this is a safe refuge. You and your allies may choose 2 recover moves, but time is short or resources are strained. You and your allies each make 1 recover move instead of 2, with no more than 3 moves total among the group. Point is we can only make 1 recover move instead of 2. It's worth it. Do you want to heal or do you want to hearten? If you hearten, you have a an asset that kind of assists you when you do that.
Yeah, let's hearten. I feel like we have enough health for this for now.
I agree.
Famous last words.
I'm going to look at your asset here. When you hearten through contemplation or sharing of your faith, you may roll a linked stat. If you do, take +1 spirit or +1 momentum on a strong hit. So you're going to actually roll with shadow for your hearten instead of heart.
Okay.
So that should better your odds. Let's see how you do.
I got scared and X'd out the character sheet. My bad. Shadow. Okay. Here we go.
Strong hit.
Yeah.
On a strong hit, you find companionship. You can bring your spirit up to 2. Or
Yes.
by 2. Because you... hold on, let's see. If you make this move as a sojourn, take +1 more. Ah, interesting. Because you sojourned, you can actually take +3 spirit. So you might actually go to full spirit.
We have 4 now. Okay.
Amazing.
And that's exactly what I wanted it to do.
Okay, amazing. So we've done that, but there's one additional benefit because of our asset, which is take +1 spirit or 1 momentum. You may choose whether you want to take it to 5 or take it to the momentum of 3.
Momentum. Definitely.
All right. Raising that momentum. Amazing. We have reconvened with the Ironlanders. It's probably good to see everybody. Even Nader is like, finally I can share the word of the whale with all of these folks. And you begin your journey. We're going to undertake an expedition, but are you interested at all to see how the other Ironlanders take to the new whaleism?
Yes.
Do we want to ask the Oracle, or do we want to make a roll? Maybe Nader tries to compel the other ones. Or do we want to just ask the Oracle, hey, do they get along with this new religion?
Let's roll for it. Let's roll for it.
But
This is really close to being like a really weird sci-fi Thanksgiving
yes.
story. So
Well, we didn't have a Thanksgiving episode, so maybe this is, we're making up for it here
exactly.
by having a very
Okay.
special StarForged Thanksgiving.
Now
Okay,
I'm rooting for the Ironlanders. Okay.
are we asking the Oracle whether they jive with it, or are we trying, or is Nader compelling them to be into it?
Nader's gonna try.
All right, he's going to try to compel them.
Sermon to the Ironlanders.
The sermon on the mount, the sermon in the hangar bay. Let's compel. You are going to either roll with heart, iron, or shadow. If you roll with shadow, you're lying or swindling. So talk to me about that. What does it look like?
That's true. He doesn't want to lie to his family, but he's so good at it.
I mean, he's so good at it, he kind of believes it himself at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think he knows that he has a special relationship with the whale.
Uh-huh.
And his whole con is convincing people that they also have the same degree of relationship with the whale that he does.
Gotcha. Go ahead and roll with shadow.
Okay.
A weak hit. On a weak hit, they'll do what you want or agree to your conditions. You may take +1 momentum. But their agreement comes with a demand or complication. Envision their counteroffer. So what do the Ironlanders from planet Ironland need? What is their condition to truly fall in line? I mean, hell, if I was one of them, I'd need to see a miracle. I need to see a space whale miracle, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Ooh.
I need to taste the flesh of the whale.
That's terrifying. Okay.
I need my communion.
Yeah, I mean, it seems right that just talking is not going to be enough to commemorate this sermon in the hangar bay. I like the idea of a miracle. There needs to be either like a weird communion where they eat a whale, or they see something magical.
Well, you tell me, Zach. I mean, Nader being the scumbucket that he is, would he say we need to catch a whale and eat it? Do we need to take communion, or does he need to come up with a miracle? And in that case, what? I mean,
see, this boy can't do magic.
I mean, they are Ironlanders. They don't know much about the ship. You could probably easily trick them. Again, being one of your strong suits.
I was gonna say, he's also grimy enough to eat a whale and be okay with it. Let's do... yeah, okay. What's the, way back when, space vampires, wasn't there like a almost borderline magical way of presenting how to understand the ship? It was something esoteric looking, maybe? I might be making this up. In which case...
okay, I mean, let's say there is. Where are you going with it?
Yeah, I want him to, go back to that, wall of explanation of how the ship runs, and it's a bunch of, symbols and glyphs and stuff.
I mean, KB did have to teach all of the Ironlanders that were on the ship how to operate it. So there is probably some kind of cipher, that they use.
Yeah. He takes them there, doesn't explain the cipher part, that it's easily translatable. One thing does mean another. But maybe he just explains that through the vision, how he understood the cipher was through a vision from the whale. I see.
So basically, he sells it like everything is through this kind of religious context of it's not technology, it's a gift from the whale gods, it's etc. Okay, I think if you want to roll with shadow, that's fine, but I think you should have to face danger.
Yeah.
Because the complication is that they need to see a miracle. You're going to attempt to show them a miracle, and in doing so, you risk putting your neck out there, right? Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you're going to roll with shadow. You are facing danger. I think... No, I'm sorry. Your asset... There are no face danger assets that you can use. You also have a gun asset, but we never ever use the gun. It's always the religious angle.
Yeah, it doesn't feel right. Unless we're killing a whale.
All right, so you're going to roll shadow to try to convince these folks that you have the holy word that is piloting the ship. Let's see how you do. Oh, a miss.
Beautiful.
On a miss, you fail, or a momentary success is undermined by a dire turn of events. Pay the price. Roll a d100, and let's just see what that price might be to give us an idea. Might not necessarily mean a beheading. Might
79.
start 79. Might start the road towards being kicked out as leader.
That's fine.
You are harmed. You are harmed. Physically. Why or how is Nader harmed physically? If we don't use that, then what else do we come up with? Why this doesn't work?
I mean, there is a chance that he could just do it wrong and hurt himself. It's giving like if the snake bites you, that kind of thing. But
all right, so you're saying like, I mean, he could, in his attempt to deceive them, purposefully hurt himself to like show them the power of the ship, but it fails spectacularly. I mean, I don't know if they're anything other than now terrified of touching the ship, you know?
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I think he tries to read the cipher and complete a task that the cipher describes, and it goes really, really wrong, and he breaks his arm or something, and now I'm like, well, fuck that part of the cipher,
right.
then.
Well, okay,
and
so
you just have people that aren't
yeah, I think basically what happens is that half the Ironlanders are just like, yeah, this is a little sus. We're gonna need a little time with this religion. It's not a success. You have to endure harm, is what we're getting at. You are going to endure harm. We'll say that it's a -1 to your health, and then you need to roll either health or iron, whichever is higher. Your health is going to be higher, so you're gonna. Did you reduce it already from 4 to 3?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. So that was a weak hit. On a weak hit, you are not. If you are not wounded, which you are not currently, you either lose momentum in exchange for that 1 health that we lost. Otherwise, you press on. So you can burn momentum to gain that health you just lost. No.
He's gonna hold on to it.
You're embracing it. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Yep, that's a lesson to learn. Okay. So we have to now undertake the journey. That's really all that's left at this point. We need to get this show on the road. We have, I think, marked the difficulty. It's dangerous. Not off to a great start. You've now got a broken arm, but we'll get past that. We're going to undertake the journey. Let's do that. You're going to either roll Edge, Shadow, or Wits.
Okay.
If you move with Edge, you're moving at speed. With Shadow, under the radar. And with Wits, with Vigilance. Vigilance, always. Okay, roll with Wits.
It's a weak hit, not too bad.
A weak hit, okay. Let me go back to these moves.
I think especially after breaking his arm in front of all of his friends and family, he's just trying not to fuck up. Keeping it together.
All right. With Wits, on a weak hit, you reach a waypoint, envision the location, and mark progress as per the rank of your expedition. But this progress is going to cost in some way. So, we can decide the waypoint. Let's see. Let's go to page 138. Roll a d100, and let's figure out what we find in space.
88.
Now, where are we? That's an interesting question. We're technically in the Expanse, I would say. We rolled an 88. So if we're in the Expanse, rolled an 88, we come to a dense nebula cloud. All right? Okay. So we are in some kind of dense nebula cloud. But the problem is that there's a peril that we have to deal with here. Roll another d100. Let's find out what that peril is.
43.
A meteoroid storm fills the sky. Put two and two together. What are you laughing about?
Sorry, to leave a storm and fly directly into another storm.
Yeah.
These people are so mad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a lot of folks being triggered amongst the Ironlanders when they realize this. So this is the trouble we find ourselves. We've made progress, which I will mark as 2 on our character sheet. But we find ourselves in a meteoroid storm in a nebula, no less. So maybe vision is impaired.
Mm-hmm.
What color is this nebula?
Pink.
Pink, definitely pink. And we're flying around trying to avoid these rocks. Sounds like we need to face danger.
Oh, yes.
Okay. With what attribute are you using to face danger?
Let's use, I think, Edge.
All right.
It's not the best stat, but I think he's just like making snap decisions.
Yeah, no, I think that makes a lot of sense. We're just trying to avoid these things. Go ahead and roll Edge. Not the best of your stats, but let's see how we do.
Tis a miss.
Oh, it's a miss. Jesus. They're coming so fast I don't even see them. On a miss, you fail or a momentary success is undermined by a dire turn of events. I mean, I think what's obvious is that maybe the ship just withstands damage, right?
Yeah.
All right, we've got 2 ships. Do they both take damage? I think that if one does, it's kind of likely that the other might as well.
Right.
We could do...
I mean,
go ahead.
do they... I was going to just say, do they both take 1? Or if we just choose one ship, does that ship take 2?
I think I'd like to first ask the Oracle whether both ships take damage. If they both do, we have to withstand damage for both of them.
Okay.
Okay? So first, we'll make it nice and even, 51 or greater. Only one ship takes damage. So roll a d100, and let's hope we roll over 51.
65.
Nice. So only one ship takes damage. You may decide which one does. Right now, the attack ship is at 3, and the chum bucket is at 5, I think.
Ooh. Sorry, Chum Bucket. Yeah.
All right.
Bring that on down to 4.
Roll however you like a +5 modifier. You can roll Shadow +2 to see... I'm sorry, it would actually be a 4 because first the ship has to take damage. So roll Shadow +1 to see what a +4 would do for our integrity.
Strong hit.
Getting back with those strong hits. All right. We are withstanding damage. Let me pull that up. Here we go. On a strong hit, you bypass the damage. And if your vehicle is not battered, take +1 to your integrity. Or take +1 momentum. Momentum or integrity up by 1. What would you like?
Integrity.
Okay. Integrity Farms. We are going to continue with... we've gotten out of... now we're on the other side of the nebula. We're going to keep undertaking this expedition.
Okay.
What stat are you going to use?
Okay. I can... Of the 5, I can
Edge,
pick.
Shadow, and Wits.
Okay. Edge.
Edge with speed, Shadow under the radar, and Wits with vigilance.
Under the radar.
Roll
Mr.
Shadow. Try to not draw any attention as you try to make it here.
Yeah. Weak hit.
Weak hit. Excellent. Here we go. On a weak hit, you reach a waypoint, but we're going to have to either make some suffer moves or we're going to have to face another peril at this new waypoint.
Okay. Let's do suffer moves.
All right. So first I'd like to decide what is this waypoint we reach. If you want, we can roll some d100s to find the theme and action, or the theme and focus of this place. So give me 2 d100 rolls, and we can figure that out.
77 and 4.
So for 77, the theme of this place is safety, The focus, you said, was 44?
Just 4.
Oh, just 4. Apparition. An apparition. A... What did I say? A, 88? Nope. Wrong. Oh, wait, no. You said 88, right?
No, 77.
Oh, 77. I'm sorry. Safety. So a safety apparition or an apparition of safety? An
That's
apparition
interesting.
being like an image or like a hologram
Yeah.
of some kind? An
Okay.
apparition of safety.
It's giving Space Casper, but okay.
Space Casper, I mean, maybe it's just a big billboard in space or something, you know, that's like, this way to, you know, this place to repair your ship or something. You know,
Okay,
it's like a
yes.
waypoint.
And this is supposed to be like a, what did you say, like a suffer?
Well,
suffer
we rolled a weak hit, so it's not that the place isn't necessarily malicious, but it's that we have to make 2 suffer moves while we're here.
Okay.
Or you make 1 suffer move at -2. So 2 suffer moves at -1, or 1 suffer move at -2.
Okay. Let's do one big one. I
Okay.
have an idea, but I want
Give me that
to
idea.
get the dice right.
What would happen?
It just feels bad, like, because it's a place of safety, so I don't think it's going to do us any harm. But if there is this big space billboard that says that there's a sci-fi Walmart this way, and we are very much so not going that way, and it makes it seem like we're going down some like fucked up street in space, like we're going very much so the wrong way. I think that's enough to sort of at least affect spirit,
I
or
see.
at least the like morale of the ship.
Okay, I like that idea. I like the idea that maybe, you know, the new Ironlanders see this and they say, why aren't we following that sign, or why aren't we going in the direction? And there's a big back and forth, and this stresses Nader. This, you know, puts him under stress. Okay, we're going to reduce his spirit by 2, bringing his spirit to 2, and then we roll. I have to see what you know, when we make these moves. We are enduring stress. You have to roll either heart or spirit, whichever is higher, and I believe they're both the same.
Yes.
Okay. Make that +2 roll to see how we do. Oh, not good. A miss. It's worse than you thought. Suffer an additional -1 spirit, so your spirit goes to 1.
Oh, that worked. Okay.
Or you can lose 2 momentum. What's it gonna be?
We'll keep the spirit.
Okay,
We'll keep
all
the
right.
spirit.
You're really hanging on to that momentum.
Yeah, just for the future person.
All right, so you're saying the spirit does go back up to 2, and you're gonna reduce your momentum, or no?
No, we'll
Okay.
keep the spirit at 1.
Got it. Why is it even worse than we initially thought?
I think he was probably always planning on making this decision. Like in his brain, it was like very much left at the sign that says right. Always. But it feels worse given what's already happened in this episode. Like the shitty landing, the having to get rid of everyone's stuff, breaking your arm in public. Like all of this has just sort of stacked on him
Yeah.
and like crushed. Like he's been following the will of the whale by himself this whole time, and now it's just like maybe it isn't for everyone. Maybe it's just for him and like 35 people on his ship.
The
And
new
that would be fucked
Ironlanders are having a hard time adjusting to his leadership. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah.
things are a little tense aboard the Chum Bucket and the Excalibur. We are going to continue our expedition unless you'd like to do something else.
Nope. Is there a way to like? I feel like doing things as a group is gonna be a lot harder. Do we have? Is there a way to make it harder for me to succeed, or is that just something we keep in mind for like flavor?
Something to think about. I think it's more of a flavor thing at this point.
Okay.
I mean, you know, effectively you are still leader. Everything is technically okay, you know, just kind of in terms of the overall travel. It's more just like, you know, probably to alleviate tensions, you would have to like put as many people on both ships. Like, you know, make enough space for everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But nothing too bad has happened yet. But yeah, something to just keep in mind as we continue. So, are we moving with edge, shadow, or wits? I will mark. Wait, we totally missed that last undertaken expedition, right?
Oh shoot. Yeah.
We did. So we can't mark any progress on getting to the vault yet. We have to roll at least a weak hit, I think. So we're gonna keep going with edge, shadow, or wits. Which one would you like to use?
I've been rolling really well with edge. It's my lowest stat, but
okay, all right. You're going to
Okay.
defy logic and roll with edge. Go ahead and try it out. Hopefully, moving fast will help.
A weak hit.
Hey, not bad. On a weak hit, you do mark progress. You know what? I take it back. We did a weak hit. That's why we did these suffer moves. We did make a weak hit, so it is progress. So I'm going to go to our vows, and I'm going to mark 2. And we just did another one, so that's another 2.
Okay.
We find a new waypoint. We can decide what that waypoint is. We can do a space encounter. We could find an opportunity. We can find a derelict, a creature, or a space encounter. What would you like to roll for this waypoint? Settlements, starships.
Oh, okay. I feel like we're good with everything but spirit and stopping to, like, spread the word of the whale.
Might be important.
Yeah, it sounds important, but
okay.
also really dumb.
So do you want to see maybe we come upon a settlement?
Yeah.
All right, roll a... Let me see if there is a roll here to decide. Let me pull that up. Actually, yeah, there's some... give me, Just give me 3 D100 rolls. Okay. We'll determine the first look, the settlement project, and maybe the settlement name.
Okay. 84, 3, and 91.
84, 3, and 91. So for 84, toxic or polluted habitat. Under settlement projects, agriculture.
Cool.
And then would you say 91?
Yeah.
The name of it is Tyson. So this is Settlement Tyson. They're trying to grow agriculture in a polluted or toxic habitat. Spin that for me, Zakiya.
Okay, I just want to confirm before I keep going on the Thanksgiving metaphor. Tyson is a company that makes food. Like,
hey, be glad we didn't roll Butterball.
Okay, cool. We're super close. All right. Toxic plants, agriculture.
And these are just describers of the place. Like, we can still land there and interact with them, but...
Okay.
I just want you to paint a quick picture. What does it look like here? What is Tyson like?
Yeah, I want Tyson to feel like a mining town, like a sci-fi mining town.
Gotcha.
That like is leaning into the toxicity of the area and is like, we definitely harness or harvest fucked up plants.
Okay.
And sell them.
Maybe like mining, they have to go into the ground to find plants that are like underground. And maybe these plants are poisonous, or maybe they're radioactive or something like that. They serve some kind of purpose.
Yes.
Okay, I like that.
Like root-based evil toxic plants.
So, sounds like we want to go down and preach to these folks. When you hearten through contemplation or sharing of your faith, you may roll a linked stat. So you may roll Shadow. And if you do, you take +1 spirit and momentum on a strong hit.
Okay. Come on, Shadow. Please.
Don't get kicked off another planet. Oh!
Yes!
A strong hit with a match. A critical success. Let me pull up Hearten real quick to remember what it is you do. But I think you're going to increase your your spirit by 2. Yeah, increase your spirit by 2.
Hey. Great. Okay,
Excellent. We're back up, feeling good, spreading the word of the whale to the will of the whale to these random miners who
cool.
live miserable, toxic lives.
Yes.
But they feel a little bit more at peace, and we continue on our way. I love that. We have 6 out of 10 progress now. If you wanted, you could roll right now for us to land on or to find the vault, or you can make another undertake an expedition roll.
I want to roll. Wait. What? I do want to roll, but what would I be rolling again of the skills?
You can do whatever you want. You can either
Okay.
undertake an expedition to continue and hopefully roll well and make some more progress and get closer to a stronger hit when you do the final roll of arriving. Or you can arrive right now and you would have 6 out of 10 as opposed to 8 out of 10 or 10 out of 10.
Okay. We'll do one more roll.
Okay.
To rule them all.
One more roll to rule them all. You're going to undertake an expedition with Wits, Shadow, or Edge. Which of those are you using?
Shadow makes the most sense. However, I don't know. I did just roll really well with a Shadow. He's going to think his way through it. Let's use Wits. Split the difference.
All right. Roll Wits.
No modifiers, just straight?
I don't think so because I don't explore waypoints, secure an advantage. I don't see anything about undertaking an expedition giving you some kind of advantage. So just Wits.
All right.
Just with Nader's Wits tries to make this final stretch home. Zakiya is covering their eyes. Hey, you rolled a strong hit.
Okay! Beautiful.
Maybe averting your gaze helps. You roll a strong hit, you reach a waypoint, envision the location, and mark progress as per the rank of your expedition. Now, you are not going to suffer at all because of this, but you are going to mark 2 progress.
Okay.
What do we come upon that brings us a little bit closer to the vault?
I almost want, in preparation for the next person as well, just like a moment of complete calm. Like the first time in this entire trip that it is just space, and like more than half of the Irelanders are like seeing just raw space for the first time.
Right.
And the other half of the people are fucking sick of it because they've been doing it for days now.
Right.
But like, they get this one moment of quiet to understand they're not going back home. It's done. We're in space now.
Okay, I like that.
And that's the last one they're gonna get. But
Gotcha. So it's relatively uneventful. We're kind of in a zone where there's just not a lot to see besides stars.
Yeah.
We have 8 out of 10 progress. Do you want to try to bring this to a close and bring us to the vault? Or do you want to make another roll? What are you thinking?
Yeah, we'll do one more to see if we can start pulling in. If this goes really bad.
All right, so are we fulfilling the vow or finishing the expedition, or are we undertaking the expedition still?
Let's fulfilling the vow and undertake an expedition or
finishing an expedition is what we would be doing if we want to arrive at the vault. Undertaking expedition is if we just want to make more progress to guarantee a stronger outcome.
Okay, then finish the expedition.
All right, that makes sense to me. You are going to roll 2d10, and you hope that at least one of them is under your progress, which is 8. So you want at least one of them under an 8. In fact, if you go under vows, if you click fulfill, it will roll it for you. It'll roll the 2d10 against the 8.
Okay.
I don't think we've ever done this in the history of our game, but you might be the first.
Okay. Again, scared and deleted the character sheet. Okay, here we go. Fulfill.
Click that fulfill button.
Here it goes.
And fulfill your destiny. Oh, a weak hit. Okay. On a weak hit, you reach your destination or complete your survey, we will mark progress as per your legacy track. But you face an unforeseen complication. The legacy reward is 1 rank lower, and envision what you encounter. So first, let me go to the legacies. We have a quest, which I think we can mark this under. It's going to go up by 1, and we hit. You face an unforeseen complication. So we arrive. We arrive at the vault, which we will describe in a moment, or we can maybe define it now. But there's a complication. Maybe it's as simple as we don't know how the hell to get in.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think they arrive at the vault, and it's like looking at a radar. Like, it's spinning and pulsing. It looks like something is in front, and then when they look, it's absolutely nothing. It's void.
Ah, interesting. So to the visual eye, there's no apparent object or planet or anything like that. We don't know where it is. We just know that it's right here somehow. All right. So maybe let's end the session by just kind of defining this vault a little bit. Let's go to page 190 in our manual, our handy-dandy manual that talks about the vaults. So first of all, there are locations. We've already kind of decided it's in deep space. There is the scale. It would have to be a vast, unfathomable complexity or world-spanning or megastructure, right?
Yes.
Have to be pretty big. Roll a D. How would we do this? Basically, there is. Well, we could say a large. So, roll a. I want you to roll a D100, but I only want to count 66 to 100. So how would we do that? Could we roll a D100 and just re-roll if we get under 66? I feel like there's a better mathematical way of doing this.
Yeah, that's okay. So, I mean, I could just Google a D44 and we just add 66 to it.
Okay, you're melting my mind a little bit. I don't know how you. But, I mean, as long as if you want to roll a D44, but doesn't that mean you're like comparing the 66 is 44? Is that what you're doing, or are you?
If it has to be 66,
I'm really
through
looking
100,
like a dummy on today's stream.
No,
I'll tell you what.
It's okay. If it has to be 66 through 100, that means our 0 is 66.
Right.
So if we roll a D44 and add it to 66, it'll put us in that area.
You're a genius. Roll a D44 in Roll20 because it does allow you to do that.
Oh.
And let's see what we get.
Oh, okay, wait. I don't use the commands.
So /roll D44 will do it.
Okay.
I just rolled. So it showed mine as 44.
That's terrifying.
Which is hilarious.
Nope.
So /roll, no space, and then a space, D44.
That's the problem. Beautiful. It rolled 30.
A 30.
66, 96.
A 96, which means that it is a vast site of unfathomable complexity. Big enough to probably fit ships in. I know you're laughing at the the debacle of us doing math. Aaron would be so embarrassed. Let's talk about its form. Roll a D100 to decide its form. Could be a structure, a vessel, a monument, a machine, or incomprehensible.
Did we do it? Okay, no, it's happening now. That's 27.
All right, so I'm going to make some notes here for this vault. It is a vast site. Unfathomable complexity. And you said you rolled a... what would you say was the number?
27.
27 is a structure. So it is a structure of some kind, a massive structure. There is the issue of we currently cannot see it. Under shape, There's a bunch of different kinds of shapes it can take. Maybe that doesn't matter right now because we can't see it. Let's see.
Unless you just want to roll and know it for yourself.
Yeah, true. Roll a d100 and let's just determine its shape.
31.
With a 31, it has a geometric pyramid-like shape. Okay.
This
so
is
it's a
stupid. I'm sorry.
Geometric pyramid.
Our Prince of Egypt themed pyramid maze.
Let my
Fine.
people go. All right.
fine.
So we have a pyramid-shaped geometric shape that we can't currently see. Let's decide what material it's made out of. Roll another d100. Are you okay? You froze for a second, so I wasn't sure if you were still with us.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I didn't even notice. That's a 83.
83 is plant-like. It is a plant-like material. Interesting.
Okay.
I'm getting Feywild vibes here.
Yeah. Space Fae.
Space Fey, plant-like material. The outer first look. Now, the outer first look should just be that we can't see it. Trying to find something that mimics this. Phasing in and... Oh, there is phasing in and out of reality, which is
Perfect.
kind of like Algernon, the Fey Island of Ashoka lore. So if that's the case, then that means it eventually comes back. So can you think of a reason why it phases in and out? Is there something that affects it or triggers it?
I mean, if this is huge, I want it to have like a moon that could work at a different schedule. It doesn't have to be like every 30 days or something. But when the moon is full, you can see it.
Oh, interesting. The full moon reveals the vault. Okay. All right. So there is a moon. We decided that is kind of circling. Exploring cursor vaults. Okay. That's kind of all the prompts for deciding it.
Okay. We could roll to see how many days or what the time frame is for like when a full moon is and how long it would last. Or whoever's next can do it.
Let's make that our final roll. Let's just kind of put the final icing on the cake, defining this structure, and then we can decide how we find it. Because currently we can't see it. And we kind of have to decide how we even learn this information. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we have to kind of solve this puzzle in-game. But yeah, let's decide. So we can just roll like a D100 and that's how many days? Or if you have a better idea.
No.
All right.
I think we'll just do that for days.
Roll a D100 and that's how many days the cycle is.
9.
9. Wow.
I'm so glad it's not 100 days.
Yeah, I know. So every 9 days it appears. Yeah. Does it appear for hours, minutes, days? Is it like on a week, off a week? It's only one. I mean, full moons only last what, one evening technically.
Yeah.
So maybe only one day.
Yeah, one of the 9 days. Either that or we divide 9 by 30.
24 hours, we'll say, roughly, it stays open. Plenty of time to go in to see it, you know what I mean? But once we're in, it disappears for 9 days. So we'll be stuck in there for 9 if we don't like it in there. Amazing session, Zakiya. We made it to the vault. We have finally made some damn progress on this vow of finding the vital world, bringing all of the Ironlanders there. I can feel the finish line. I can see it.
Yes. Good.
For the first time in a long time, because we've been putting around the forge for a while.
Yeah, I'm glad we finally moved, but I'm sad. Like, I'm sad to see. I mean, I'm glad Nadir didn't die, but I'm sad to see it go.
Well, I mean, you know, Nadir is still hanging around. He might lead them to the promised land. He might be replaced with another player when they come on. I think really the only thing that is left is for us to decide who comes next. I've got you at on a D6. You are 6, and I've got Allegra on a 5. So we want to basically roll a d4 to determine who's next.
Sweet. Here we go. 3.
On a 3, L. Who is L? Why
Who
did
is
I
L?
put L? There's A for Amanda, E for Eli, 4 was Caleb. It's got to be Aaron. Although, oh man, we'll say it's Aaron. It's been too long.
Okay.
I'm making the executive decision. I want to see Aaron in the hot seat to see all the chaos that his Nader character, Nader was created by him, has racked, whatever the right word is.
You can tell him of our great math, and I think he'll enjoy this.
Yes, I think so.
This is for Aaron.
Yes, exactly. Zach, thanks for coming on. Zach, thank you for all the amazing artwork you do. I was just putting together a Patreon exclusive showing some of the looks of the costumes of the agents. That'll be coming out this coming week before we release episode 4. And I was just admiring your talent and how lucky we are at Mayday to have you creating this cool art for us.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you.
So,
yeah,
guys, if you like Zach's amazing art that they release every time we release an episode, we have some exclusive stuff on our Patreon that you can check out this coming week. You can join at the $2, but at the $5 level is where you get all this cool exclusive Patreon stuff. At $2, you join our Discord. All of it is fun. Please check us out. You can join us on Patreon. Also, joining us on Twitch is a lovely way of supporting us. But Zach, any last words?
No, that's it. Happy holiday winter solstice.
Yes.
Cold time.
Yes, absolutely.
Whichever.
Happy holidays to everyone. This might be, let's see. No, we're going to have, I think, at least one session more before the holidays. I'm just going to triple check that. Yeah, at least 2, I would assume. Yeah, actually, probably a handful. Anyway, never mind. But we're in the holiday season. Everybody loves it. We're having a great time. We're going to be doing some one-shots and some other fun stuff. Certainly ramping up our Patreon content. So take a look and keep an eye out for that.
Cool.
All right, Zach. We will see you next time, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.